All right, welcome. This is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Today's episode is素敵な選TAXI, episode 12, part 1. And then we'll be finishing up part 2 with the next video, and that'll be the end of this particular series called Time Taxi. All right, this is going to be a little longer than normal. The video is actually 60 minutes in length, so this means each half is going to be about 30. I'm going to cover 30 minutes of it, but obviously it's going to take me a little bit longer because, again, of the nature of how I read this. Okay, for the beyond that, for those of you on YouTube, if you're watching this and you enjoy it, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Feedback's always welcome. If you enjoy this series and you'd like to see more series like that, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you, this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. And if you appreciate what I've been doing to help the Japanese learning community, you'd like to support that in some way. One method is via the Patreon. So the link to that is in the description below, as well as the links to the community Discord and the Let's Learn Japanese website that Otaku put together. All right, finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, or usually though it's technical assistant advice, but usually it's one-on-one, walk you through the steps of how to set up your system in order to start learning Japanese in this manner, or utilize some of the resources that I talk about on these videos or other places. Then the hourly rates and the payments are done via the Patreon, but the specific link for that is in the description below as well. Okay, with that said, again, this is the final episode. It's a good series. Each episode is, if you've seen it, is just a standalone story. Yeah, there is a small arc connecting the various episodes, you know, just from the nature of the time taxi and the taxi driver. And then, of course, there's a cafe choice where, again, he gets to meet up with the same characters throughout each episode. But beyond that, it's mainly just, hey, who's the new story with new characters and new issues. So again, episodic. And it's pretty simple. It's what I've recommended for people. If you start doing Let's Reads for dramas, this is a good one to start off at. You know, I would recommend, like the one I recommend for people if they had access to it was, Edawakare, but that's just not on Netflix. And the benefit with this one is that it's on Netflix, the Netflix in Japan at least, and that makes it's at least accessible in some manner to people, which is important. Access to the material, and without trying to go through extra legal means to do that. All right. And the other reason is because, again, a lot of the dramas, I think, the better dramas seem to be, and maybe it's just, oh, I'm an old guy now, but some of the better dramas feel like they're in the 2000s. Like near the end of 90s, there were some good dramas that came out, you know, but yeah, but mainly it just seemed like in the 2000s was this, felt like a golden age of where you had actually quality dramas before it seemed like AKB48 and Johnny's Entertainment sort of took over, forcing the studios to cast these people just because they happen to be part of this particular entertainment group. I could be wrong. Like I said, maybe it's just the old fuddy-duddy in me complaining about stuff. You know, curse you clouds. You know, look out. There's no clouds in the sky to curse. But yeah, okay. It's actually a beautiful day in Japan right now. Okay, with that said, we can get started. So again, I'm going to be going to about the 30-minute mark as far as the video is concerned, but this will take probably most likely on that will be about roughly an hour or so, or a little bit over an hour for each video. I'll try to do both videos today as far as the live stream is concerned. For those of you on YouTube, it'll be, let's see, September 29th should be today, and then the next video will be on September 30th. All right, that's how hopefully the scheduling works. Okay, with that said, we can get started. Sorry. All right, one view. Here we go. Ooh.
あ
Okay. Komatani?
あ、すいません。
Okay. uh,
ごめんなさい。
okay, he broke his foot in the last episode. Let's see what happens this episode.
なんかかけます。
そうだな。
そうだな。
じゃあ、負けた方がビールを。
お、いいね。よし来い。
手加減しませんよ。
お、
Take again. Don't use your hands? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Don't go easy on me. What'd you take? Take again. Take again. しませんよ。
手加減しませんよ。
手加減しませんよ。Yeah, he slammed it and hit his hand. Completely missed.
コマダリコマダリ
Konki Zetsubo. Same good girls? Ladies? Yeah, I think so.
あ、いた撃てた
Well, that's fortunate.
これ
He's throwing up gang signs.
まだやっちゃった。
私これから温泉入るところだったのに。
すいません。
寒い
行きますよ。
もうやだよし俺の勝ちだビールな
わかりましたよ。
まあ骨折に比べりゃ安いもんだ
あれ特急あんじゃん。お、本当だ、やろうぜやろうぜ。
Alright. Asai. That should be Asai, right? Yeah.
あ、特急あんじゃん。
まあ
あれ特急あんじゃん。お、本当だ、やろうぜやろうぜ。あ、先生、審判してくださいよ。
Oh, become a judge, right? Shinpan. Mondai Tonaru. Bansho. Shinpan.
あ、先生、審判してくださいよ。
Kanemoto Yaeko.
ダメダメ、もうすぐレクリエーション始まるから早く宴会場に行きなさい。
Recreation? Recreation, right? But
一緒に行け一緒に行け一緒。
oh, okay.
早く宴会場に行きなさい。
一緒に行け一緒に行け。一緒やったらすぐ行くからさ。
ダメだってば。ほら行って。
だよ。
今あいつ舌打ちしたよね。私のこと融通の利かない大人みたいな目で見たよね。
Yuzu. 金なのをやりくりして。I'm involved in loaning and borrowing. Hmm.
私のこと融通の利かない大人みたいな目で見たよね。うざー。私の名前は金本八重子。
So I guess they're playing a what's that? Sensei, some class. It's like some long running series about a teacher, since the 80s. But the episode, like up to many seasons. If you remember GTO, that was a collection of DVDs he wanted to get to kind of like figure out how to become a better teacher.
私の名前は金本八重子。
Yeah.
たまたま名前が某教師ドラマと近いために
Bokyoshi. So let's see. I'm gonna go a little further than that. Okay.
生徒たちからはたまたま名前が某教師ドラマと近いために
Maybe that was actually the name of the drama as well, Kanemoto Sensei. And some class, like class, what was it, 4-1 or 4-2, something like that.
生徒たちからは必ずと言っていいほどこう呼ばれる。
Interesting joggers with blonde hair. Yeah, there we go. Ninen B Gumi. So, yeah, right there. What was that? Kanepachi. Kanepachi? So, Haneko. Kanemoto Haneko. So, Kanepachi sensei. Okay, that's the joke. Gotcha.
だったな。はあ、こうよ。はあ。まで見える道で君の手を握りしめ。
Jesus, that was bad.
はあ。今日も面倒なことばっかりだったな。
Kyoji Zen, Kyoji Kanzen. Right before that. Okay. All right, there are the kids doing this. Yeah, again, just doing the silly pose, either making magic to make the water fall, or maybe they're having a fall in their mouth. Who knows? It's, perspective photography, forced perspective photography. Oh, okay. They're just trying to recreate a scene from the manga or whatever that is. Okay. What's this guy's name? Sasamura.
いやいやもう本当マジでやべえなここ竹いや本当だってなんだこれおいやめろよ何やってんのこんなのさすげえなこれちょ見てラブ&学級崩壊
ラブ学級会崩壊
聖地ラブ&学級崩壊聖地順ね返してよ
順で聖地順で
聖地すげえなこれちょ見てラブ&学級崩壊聖地順ね返してよいいだろおさめ見てみこれやばくね返してってだよ見せろなんだよおいちょっと待ってよ
やめさせないよ。
I'll be honest. I mean, for bullying, for me, when that was happening for me as a kid, I was a bigger kid, but again, I still would get bullied, at least because I wasn't a very aggressive type of person. So, again, kids. But when something like that, like they would play keep away with me, I'll be honest. I learned early on. This like when I was like 6, 7, or 8 years old. Is this what you do? Is like when they're playing keep away, you go after one guy, and even after throw what you want away, you still go after him and demand you get your stuff. So basically, you pick one guy and he's the one you're going to force to return your stuff back, even though the other guys are the ones that have it. So you're not chasing the object that you want back. You just grab one of the persons and you say, "Hey, where's my stuff?" And I don't know why, but it just seemed to work. And then they just don't keep away with you anymore. I don't know. And then they probably act like you were the assholes, like, no, this is one in my ball back or something, or frisbee in that case. All right. Anyway, here we go. And that was only if it was my property. I mean, that was it. I mean, if it was like, it was just a game, like a football game or something from school stuff, yeah, okay, then that was fair game. Where are we at? This is kind of hard to follow because there's a lot of people talking, and these are a lot of different names. Is that or not? Okay, anyway. Okay. Ta-da. My My hero? Okay.
先生先生なんかあそこ揉めてるんですけどそこ
うわーめんどくさいっていうかああいうのって下手に教師が首突っ込むと余計こじれるんだよな。
Means stick your neck out. I assume that means sticking your neck out. 首突っ込む。
余計こじれるんだよっていうかああいうのって下手に教師が首突っ込むと余計こじれるんだよなってすぐ親とか出てきちゃうし今の
余計こじる。Okay.
今ですぐ親とか出てきちゃうと余計こじれるんだよなってすぐ親とか出てきちゃうし今の親って何でもかんでも担任のせいにするし学校も学校で親の言いなりだしでも無視するわけにもいかないし
おいおいどうしたお前ら。
うわーもっとめんどくさいの出てきた。
なんだ喧嘩してたのか。
いや別に。
嘘つけ。先生な喧嘩するなとは言わない。男同士時にはぶつかり合うことも必要だ。
出た若いやつらに理解あるぞアピール。
ぶつかり合った後はぶつかり合った後
出た若いやつらに理解あるぞアピール。
ぶつかり合った後は最後は必ず仲直りしろ。
っていうかぶつかり合うって何？
Struggle? Flag flash. Okay.
ぶつかり合った後は最後は必ず仲直りしろ。
っていうかぶつかり合うって何？
あ、行こう。全力で楽しむぞ。おーよしこれでノーサイドだ。
ラグビーの例えいる？
さあまだ滝を全力で楽しんでこい。
ラグビーの例えいる？
さあまだ滝を全力で楽しんでこい。
この教師はスクールウォーズとかそれ系のドラマに影響を受けて教師を志した典型的なパターンである。
志す。典型的な。Okay, let's look at 典型。典型的なパターン。Okay.
それ系のドラマに影響を受けて教師を志した典型的なパターンである。昔ならそれでよかったかもしれないけど今の教育現場でそんなの通用しない。我々中学教師は義務付けられた教育を淡々と行えばよいのだから。
義務付ける。
我々今の教育現場でそんなの通用しない。我々中学教師は義務付けられた教育を淡々と行えばよいのだから。
先生方最後までトラブルや事故がないよう気をつけてください。ではよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
じゃあ
OK。
見回り行ってきます。
お願いします。お願いします。よいしょと。
So I've never had this for a school. I mean, usually like it was like church groups or stuff or whatnot, but not I can't remember an overnight for a school. But I wasn't going to like but I'm sure they happened, school trips and whatnot, but not overnights like that. We had a senior trip, but that was like for a one-day thing, not an overnight. Never saw it from a teacher's perspective, but I assume like trying to keep a bunch of seniors in line has got to be insanely difficult because we were bad. Oh, manju. What is she looking at? Oh, a video game.
ここにあったやつですか？え？ここにあったやつですか？違いますよ。違いますよね。俺ここにあったやつ食っちゃってる。
ノッチ、今下にいたおじさん、ずっと一人でぼーっとしてたんだけど、自殺しに来たとかじゃない？
え？
ほら、よくドラマであるじゃん、そういうの。
そんなわけないだろう。
あのおじさん、自殺の名所のポスター見てたよな。そう。しかもずっと見ててさ、やばい、マジこ。
National. Oh, the place known for. Okay. Noted place.
やばい、マジ怖がってるのね。やばい。そう。あのおじさん、自殺の名所のポスター見てたよな。そう。しかもずっと見ててさ、やばい、マジ怖がってるのね。
Kashiwa. Oh, is it Kishigawa? Oh, him. Okay.
Kanemoto 先生。
はい。
そういえば昼間 B 組の生徒が揉めてたって聞いたんですけど。
揉める。Struggle. More fight. Dispute. Fight. 揉めてたって。
B 組の生徒が揉めてたって聞いたんですけど。
ちょっとしたいざこざですね。
いざこざ。揉めごと。Okay. Small fight. Small matter. いざこざ。
気をつ
ちょっとしたいざこざですね。
気をつけてくださいね。修学旅行先でのトラブルはすべて学校の責任になっちゃいますから。
はい。この人は学年主任の岸川先生。口を開けば私にプレッシャーをかけてくる。
6年前だったかな。修学旅行先で生徒同士の恋愛のいざこざがあって、
恋愛？
結果的にその時の担任がクビになったんですよ。
Why？
恋愛のいざこざでありましたね。沢田先生でしたっけ？
そう。本人は良かれと思って応援してあげたんでしょうけど、逆に。こじれて問題になっちゃって。
こじれる。Yeah, so there's that word again. こじれる。関係。Related? Difficult results or bad results? Let's see. Grow complicated. こじれる。こじれて。
結局逆にこじれて問題になっちゃって。結局親まで出てくる騒ぎになったんですよ。
本当に忘れられません。
戻りました。
お疲れ様です。どうしました？
この辺に自殺の名所なんてあったりします？
自殺の名所？
どうかしたんですか？
いや、生徒から聞いたんですけどね、中年の男性が自殺しようとしてるんじゃないかって。
そうなんですか？
確かに自殺の名所みたいな崖はあっちゃありますけど。
そうなんですか？
Okay, so cliffs is someone. Okay.
原本先生、どこ行かれるんですか？
ちょっとお手洗いに。
How about none of your business? Now, of course, if they're there, like it's part of the like the school's paying, and like they're not there for vacation, they are there as supervisors, and again, they have certain duties at that time. But most likely, I get a bad feeling like they still have to pay for their part, even though they're like having to work. I get a bad feeling about that. I could be wrong though.
何何告白
Misinterpreting.
うわー、思春期っぽい。
I know that's like 思春期, adolescence, right? Let's see if there's a better word for it. Yeah, adolescence.
うわー、思春期っぽい。
That's kind of creepy that you're spying on them though. That's super creepy. Maybe don't do that. Okay, Inagawa.
川くんと太田さん。
Oh. Oh, no, guess it. Okay.
何、振られたの？よし、見なかったことにしよう。さすがに恋愛なんて教師が首突っ込むことじゃない。修学旅行で告白か。
4時に起きて走ってるんですよね。
そうなんですか？
どうしました？
さっきの話なんですけど、なんで担任がクビになっちゃったんですか？
あれね、そうそう、女子に振られてやけを起こした生徒がそのまま旅館を飛び出して事故に遭ったんですよ。
自殺とか？
まあそんなところですね。
そうなんですね。
Oh, maybe she should have heard the full story before she decided to like ignore the students.
命に別状はなかったんですけど、当然修学旅行先での事故は完全に学校の責任ですから、担任がクビに。
なるほど。ちなみにその先生は今？
確かそのまま教師も辞めて地元に帰っちゃいましたね。
そうなんですね。
金本先生、申し訳ないけどお茶買ってきてもらえません？
なんで私が？
廊下に自販機があるんで。
だったら自分で行けよ。
わかりました。
You can say it, ask it as a favor, but I think that actually happens in real life. You think? I mean, in the military, it's maybe a little different, but you tend to not have, again, we're not there to be maids to the, if I'm a E6 or E5, I'm not supposed to be maid to my supervisor. Okay, again, the supervisor there to make sure dealing with work, but someone's drinking someone's food or drink. No. Now maybe it's like, hey, this person, you're going to gather food, but do it for the group. Or maybe, hey, here, I'm going to keep work on this. Can you help? Can you bring back food? You can ask it as a favor, or it might be as a part of the work process. That could happen. But for this, I'm not seeing it. It's just feels like he's probably lording his rank over her, and she can only complain in her head instead of out loud.
金八先生。
どうしたの？早く寝なさい。
Kanemoto, so Kimpachi. Okay, so that's her nickname. Cool.
マヒロが。
Mahiro, right? Mahiro が。
太田さんがどうしたの？
どっか行っちゃったみたいで。
どこ行っちゃったの？
わかんないけど、部屋にジャージが置いてあるから、多分制服に着替えて出てると思う。
女子に振られてやけを起こした生徒がそのまま旅館を飛び出して。
確かに自殺の名所みたいな崖はあるっちゃありますけど。
嘘でしょ。
太田さん来てないけど。
稲川君、さっき太田さんと一緒にいたでしょ。
は？奥さんも太田と一緒にいたの？いないけど。
いや、いたじゃない。
いないっつってんじゃん。
ちょっと
金本先生、何か問題ですか？
あ、いえ、大丈夫です。
おいお前たち、もう消灯時間過ぎてるぞ。明日も全力。
行こうか。
Yeah. Also, like for supervisor purposes, yeah, if you got, she's a supervisor of them, he's careful about trying to override that. Like have a respect for your fellow supervisor, or in this case, teachers. Don't undermine their authority by trying to, what he was kind of do. I know he's probably showing off for her or something, but still. Oh, by the way, I know it's like Shotojikan. I know it's like that's the so that's the lamp lights out, but yeah, lights out. Shotojikan.
おいお前たち、もう消灯時間過ぎてるぞ。明日も全力。
行こうか。小野寺先生には内緒にしといてもらっていいかな。じゃあ戻ってて。
あの人に言うと大ごとにされちゃう。
So you already see the problem. She's overthinking, and she's not asking for help, and she does seriously think there could be a problem.
いや、いくらなんでも自殺なんか。
すいません。この辺になんか自殺の名所みたいな場所があるって聞いたんですけど。
ああ、なんかあるみたいですよ。
それって。
That's gotta be a weird thing to ask a random stranger in front. Hey, is there a place that's very famous for committing suicides?
どの辺にあるかわかりますか？
この旅館の前の道を確
か。はいや、私がするわけじゃないですよ。その教え子が。
教え子？ああ、修学旅行の先生ですか。
はい。
生徒さん自殺しちゃったんですか？
いや、まだわからないんですけど、その場所にいた可能性が。
そりゃあまずいですね。
その場所ってどう行けばいいですか？
ここですよ、ここ。もしあれだったら車出すんで送ってきましょうか。
いいんですか？
もうそろそろだと思いますよ。
そろそろだと思いますよ。
止まってください。
あれって。
うん。
とりあえず現場まで行きましょうか。
はい。
戻ります？それか戻ります？
戻る？
もしかしたら生徒さんの命を救うことができるかもしれません。
お願いします。
かしこまりました。何分前にしましょう？
告白する前の40分前くらいに。
告白する前の？
ええ、告白さえ阻止すればこんなことにもならないと思うので。
なるほど。
Again, she's overthinking. She's assuming like it's She just saw them talking. She doesn't know what it's about. Okay.
あれ、パネルってどこ？ここか。
そうなんですか。
金本先生。
何してるの？消灯時間過ぎてるでしょ。二人とも早く部屋に戻りなさい。ほら。よし、これで大丈夫でしょう。っていうか、振られて自殺するなら告白なんかしないでよね。
But if you think like something happened that would have led to that, it's like all you've done is like if that event's supposed to happen, you kind of pushed. You only just kind of like pushed it forward a bit, because it's probably gonna happen again if that's what she's thinking it is, which it probably isn't. 妄想すぎる。
あ、金本先生。申し訳ないけどお茶買ってしまえませんか。他に自販機があるんで。
行ってきます。
お願いします。
え？小山くん？何？今度は小山くんが太田さんに告白してんの？
はい。
いや、それは無理でしょう。え？じゃなくて？太田さんが告白して振られたってこと？いや、それはさすがにないか。じゃあ何あれ？あ、小山くんに相談したのか。でもこう言っちゃあれだけど、小山くんに相談してもな。
Like, I'll be honest, I think my wife does this. Like she has this entire conversation in her head about another person. And just like probably gets it completely wrong, but takes it as a reality sometimes. It's not as bad as know some other people do it worse than that, but it's like I'm guilty of it myself, but it's like you completely misread a situation. Well, talk to her. You just this is a girl you worried like maybe have committed suicide, and you're just gonna ignore her.
まあ誰かに話して楽になるなら何でもいいけど。
どうすいませんね。
ありがとうございます。
いただきます。
お？生徒ですかね。
また？
また？
どうしていなくなっちゃったの？わかんない。
金本先生、どうしました？
あ、いや、なんでもないです。
お前ら、消灯時間過ぎてるぞ。
言っておくから大丈夫ですよ。
How about saying, hey, it's almost lights out? It's like, hey, they're here, they're asking for a teacher advice. Maybe find out what that is first before telling them to go to bed. Just saying.
先生探してくるから、他の子や先生には黙っといて。
Maybe don't tell people that either. It's like it's a big hotel. Maybe it's helpful if more people can look.
もう、なんなの太田さん。あ、いた、枝分かれさん。
先生。
大至急お願いします。
私これからやっと露天風呂に。
露天風呂に。
わかりました。わかりました。
kind of wonder, like, how did the girl get out that far, that quick?
その小山君って子に振られたってことじゃないですか。
でも稲川君に告白しようとして邪魔が入ったからって別の子に告白するなんてことあります？
じゃあ小山君が告白したってことですかね。
だったらなんで太田さんが自殺なんて。
あ、そうか。謎だな。これもしかしたら恋愛のいざこざとかじゃないんじゃないですか。
いやいやいや、思春期の男女が他に何でゴタゴタします？
See, she's just assuming like that's the only thing. You know, she can't think outside the box. Could be about a video game, teasing, a future event happening. You know, it could be anything.
ですか。
いやいやいや、思春期の男女が他に何でゴタゴタします？
もう本人たちに聞いてみたらどうです？
こういう問題って教師が下手に介入すると余計こじれる可能性があるんですよ。
There's Kojireru again. Neat. How common is this kanji, by the way? Oh wow, it's not even in RTK. Kojireru.
でもやっぱり原因を追求した方が早いと思いますけどね、私は。原因を追求した方が早いと思いますけどね。
追求。Get to the point. Interrogate question. 追求した方が。
原因を追求した方が早いと思いますけどね、私は。
いや、とりあえずあの3人の接触を徹底的に阻止します。
Again, it's you're like kicking the can down the road. It's like if it doesn't happen then, it's going to happen a little later. Whatever it is, if you don't know what it is, you're not solving the root cause. You're just again holding off that one particular incident for a later time.
君たち何してるの？寝なさい。
But again, she didn't follow the girl to her room. If she assumes the girl is going to do harm to herself, follow her to the room and make sure she's in the care of her friends if there's a problem.
金本先生、どうしました？
あ、いえ。ありがとうございます。さすがにもう大丈夫でしょう。でも一応確認してみよう。
あれ、どちらに？先生？
意味がわかんない。
あの自殺だって太田さんかどうかわからないですし、とりあえず原因を突き止めてからじゃないと戻る意味なんかないと思いますよ。
There, you see? Get it to the cause. There we go.
とりあえず原因を突き止めてからじゃない。
突き止め。Yeah, look at the bad point and then get involved. The term pin down. There we go. 突き止める。突き止める。
とりあえず原因を突き止めてからじゃないと戻る意味なんかないと思いますよ。
原因。
とりあえず見に行ってみましょう。
だからって死ぬことはない。まず鑑識として罪を償え。まず鑑識として罪を償え。近づくな。それ以上近づいたら私は死ぬ。何？じゃあ帰る。じゃあ死なない。じゃあ解決。じゃあよかった。よかった。チェック。はい、チェック OK です。差し切り拳銃のより行きます。
本日デビッド伊藤さんよりラーメンの差し入れがございます。
デビッド伊藤。I don't know who that is. That's he was one of the characters. He was one of the actors. I think he was one of the actors in KyoNNG. Devito Ito. Let me do a search real quick. Yep, that was him. Oh, he's yeah. There you go. Okay, he's the actor there. Okay, all right. Devito Ito. Where? So in this case, where did I? I would have to look, but what else have you seen? Let's see, DX. Yeah. Really? Oh, okay. This guy played the coach who got the girl pregnant in Yusei no Kizuna. Okay, that's why the name's, because I saw the Devito Ito. I remember the name sounded familiar, but okay, that makes sense. Oh boy. Okay. That was a, sorry about that. That was a weird.
ラーメンの差し入れがございます。本日デビッド伊藤さんよりラーメンの差し入れがございます。ありがとうございます。俺2回目デビッドラーメン。
ラーメンの差し入れですって。
ユキ。
お願いします。
すげえ。とりあえずあれが太田さんじゃなかったのはいいにしても、太田さんはまだ見つかってないわけですから、稲川君や小山君たちに事情を聞いた方がいいんじゃないですか。
聞いても話さないですよ、あの子たち。
そりゃあ信用されてないからでしょう。こっちがまっすぐ向き合わなかったら、そりゃあの子たちだって腹なんか割ってくれませんよ。
だって教師が首突っ込んだら余計こじれるかもしれないし。教師が首突っ込んだら余計こじれるかもしれないし、それこそ全部学校の責任になっちゃうんですよ。は
あ、なんかかわいそうだな、先生のクラスの生徒たちは。
どういう意味ですか。
だって先生はさっきからずっと自分の心配しかしてないじゃないですか。 やだなあ、こういうなんかあくまでも自分は職業としてやってますみたいな先生。
私だって最初は違いましたよ。
え？
私だって最初はもっと生徒たちと向き合って、時にはぶつかり合って、一緒に心の汗を流そうみたいな教師目指してます。
心の汗. I know it's like blood. I wonder if that's a full phrase. There's the literal what you're literally seeing at it, but let's see if it's a full phrase. 一緒に心の汗
みたいな教師、時にはぶつかり合って一緒に心の汗を流そうみたいな教師目指してましたよ。
そうなんですか？
でも現実はそんなの通用しなくて、何かあったらすぐに親が乗り込んでくるし、何でもかんでも担任のせいにされて、そりゃこうなりますよ。
Yeah, I've seen that where, yeah, you do get parents where it's, and I don't know if the kids, but the parents will say like, it's never the kid's fault. I've seen that a couple times, especially, normally it's never a problem. It's not too big of a problem. Sometimes like, hey, look, kids don't have time. It's like, I teach an English class, so some kids are going to do better than others just because they're able to do more of it at home. Like the ones that do the workbooks do better at the class and go further. The ones who watch English stuff on their own for fun do better than the ones who don't do it. The only time they spend time with English is in the class. They're not going to do as well. It's just the nature of the system. Again, you got to compare someone who's only put, in a semester's time, in 6 months' time, they've only put in, let's say, 24 hours. Compare that to another one who's put in 100 or 200 hours. Part of, the time they spent on their workbook, but also time they spent like maybe either reading over stuff or watching, having fun in English. That's a big thing there. That's why I try always push the kids to try to realize that they can have fun watching English shows in English. Peppa Pig would be the obvious one, but it's not like I can't do that for them. We just don't have the time. It just is impossible. You get 50 minutes, that's it. 50 minutes a week, that's it. Unless you want to pay extra. But again, it's like, hey, and then the other times, like some of these kids, it's like, hey, the parents they might be going through struggles or trouble or busy, so they don't have time to spend with the kids to kind of help them with, if they have problems with homework or whatnot. Or, like I remember one parent, it was insane. Like he did not give his kid a CD player so he can listen to the CDs of the related to the books of what he's been, reading. It just kind of weird. So, but yeah, that's where parents, it depends on, but do the parents or your kids aren't doing well, are they going to blame the teacher? And it's like, again, what are they putting into it? We can't force them. It's what they put into it. We can encourage it and present it to them, but they have to be the one to actually be willing to do it. As far as that, but that's an academic thing. But when it comes to kids being bullies, again, I've seen that, and it really is annoying when it's like, I remember this one kid, and parent always seemed to be the same. It's like, hey, look, the kid told the mom, oh, the teacher misunderstood him. It's like, there's no misunderstanding. Your boy hit another kid. There's nothing to misunderstand there. There's nothing, that's just not it happening. Another kid, because he was just kind of rude. That's all. He was just, he came from the U.S. and his English ability, as you would expect, spending a few years in the U.S., he was a young kid anyway, would be okay. But like most kids who, have a parent who speaks Japanese, parent who speaks English, and come back from the U.S. to Japan, they usually have a much higher ability in the English, but their level starts dropping because they're spending time only in Japanese, which kind of makes sense. And it was trying to hard to convince him that. Plus, he seemed like he felt the need to be more rude in Japanese. He wasn't rude in English, oddly enough. He was just rude in Japanese. And I don't know if it's like compensate. He did calm down later. It eventually his attitude did shift. But early on, it's like, we're trying to tell mom, and he was trying to play it off like, oh, the teacher was just misunderstanding. No, there was no misunderstanding. You were being rude. But for him, it was very simple. Just set him outside the classroom for 5 minutes, a little timeout. That was easy enough. And for a lot of kids, oddly enough, they act like they don't, again, they want to disrupt the class, but then once they're actually removed from the class, they all of a sudden they're upset. They really do want to come back in, and so that tends to, I've noticed that it helps shift. Again, you don't need to be abusive to the kids. It's just like saying, hey, look, you don't get to disrupt the class. But again, I'm saying about what the parents were. The parents were never on our side with that. So, I can understand why I'm sorry about going into the segue about what she was mentioning here, but yeah, you can get disheartening. It can be disheartening of trying to want to do better for your students, and then the parents just seem to, essentially beat down any effort. If you just show an excess of interest, they're just going to beat you down for it.
先生も昔はじゃあ熱い教師だったんですね。
そうですよ。私なんて極戦見て教師目指してたぐらいですからね。
極戦
That's a no! He says that's Gokusen. She's a horrible teacher. Yangumi Sensei. One, that's a horrible drama. Anyway, anime wasn't too much better either. But yeah, that's a horrible drama. She's just a horrible teacher. Just horrible. She should not be a teacher. Yeah, obviously looks out for her kids and whatnot.
根本先生。
ああ、
先生
副担任です。
どうも枝分かれです。
小野寺です。先生聞きましたよ。太田がいなくなっちゃったそうじゃないですか。
誰に聞いたんですか？
女子生徒たちです。
も
う何があったんですか？ごめんなさい。ちょっと整理させてもらっていいですか？太田がいなくなったことでタイムスリップして、それで何度かやり直してる状態ということですか？ええ。うわ、すげえ、なんだそれ。
声が大きいですって。
それでどう思います？
いや、僕ね、子供の頃から SF ものとか大好きで、ちょっと感動してます。
いや、そっちじゃなくて。
太田の件。
そうです。
だったら恋愛のもつれなんかじゃありませんよ。
なんでわかるんですか？
先生知らないんですか、あいつらの関係。3人とも小学校が同じなんですよ。
ええ。それなら知ってますけど。
あいつら当時は同じグループでいつもつるんでたんですよ。
そうなんですか？
そんなことも知らなかったんですか？
なんで先生は知ってるんですか？
前に太田から聞きましたから。
Basically, he asks and listens, and actually has a concern.
あの子、私にはそんなこと言ったことない。
それは先生がコミュニケーションを取ろうとしないからでしょ。
だって下手に深入りして何かあった時。
またそれですか。先生ビビりすぎですよ。
は？
ビビり。Self-conscious. Okay. ビビりすぎますですよ。
先生ビビりすぎですよ。
は？
モンスターペアレンツがどうだとか、最近の中学生は昔と違うとか。
だってそうじゃないですか。
確かにそういう親御さんもいらっしゃいますけど、みんながみんなそうじゃないし。
親御さん。
みんながそういう親御さんもいらっしゃいますけど、みんながみんなそうじゃないし、生徒たちだって話してみると結構みんな意外と素直ですよ。
本当そうですよ。
そうですよ。
なんだかさっきから一人で悲劇のヒロインみたいな顔して、今の学校教育に絶望してる感出すんですよ。
Defeat. Despair. That's right. Lose hope. 学校教育絶望してる。
出してます。
今の学校教育に絶望してる感出すんですよ。
出してませんけど。
いや出してましたよ。私だって昔はドラマのような先生になりたいなとか言って遠い目してたじゃないですか。
してませんけど。
いやしてましたよ。心の汗がどうだとか言って。
心の汗？何ですかそれ？
なんでもないです。
なんだかね、先生も本当は生徒たちと一緒に心の汗を流したいんですって。
意外。
いいでしょ別に。
それもう一回もらっていいですか？心の汗のくだり。
は？
聞きたい聞きたい。
嫌ですよ。
いいじゃないですか。せっかくいいシーンだったんだから。
シーンって何ですか？絶対バカにしてるでしょ。
いやバカにしてませんよ。
先生も意外と熱いんですね。
は？自分だってドラマの教師にかぶれてるじゃないですか。
そうですよ。悪いですか？
小野寺君、はい、君は潔くて気持ちがいい。君は潔くて気持ちがいい。
潔く。潔く。
君は潔くて気持ちがいい。
あざっす。
もういいでしょ。それより3人に何があったんですか？
多分当時のことが関係してると思うんですけど、とりあえず僕今から小山と稲川のところに行って話聞いてきますよ。じゃあ枝岡さんどうも。
いらっしゃい。
待って。私が行きます。担任ですから。何ですか？何ですか？
いいえ。
All right, I tell you what. So that's roughly about the half-hour mark. I'm sure the last half's going to go a little faster anyway, but maybe, maybe not. I don't know. This story's about. Yeah, we'll see what happens to the 30-minute mark. All right.
稲川くん、ちょっといいかな。
何？
聞きたいことがあるから。
消灯時間だから。
そんな規則より。大事なものがあるでしょ。
Okay. He's an annoying little. Well, okay, he just doesn't care about her. That's all. All right, I think we'll call it quits there for this half, and then we'll be starting up episode 2 in a little bit. So anyway, let's that had some difficult parts at the beginning because I think it was just a lot of people talking, so that kind of makes it a little more difficult to follow along with the reading, like keeping things straight because there's overlapping in conversations and a little bit of the teenage slang at the early parts. But after that, it kind of got a little easier and easier to understand. Yeah. Beyond that, it was a pretty. So far, it's pretty fun. It's an okay story. Just like how, again, she's just a teacher that's trying to keep her head down, do the minimum without getting in trouble. It's you got those types. Those are true in most jobs, And you know what though? To be fair, that's fine. If as long as you're there to do the work, and as long as you're doing the work, all right. Who says you got to actually go there and actually? Oh my God, I give 100%. Basically, if you're you could also give too much and you could lose it. I mean, so you got to pace yourself. It's not 100%. And also there is some reasons, like again, it's a school trip or whatnot. You got to give kids space as well. You can't just be in their business all the time. So it's a balance act. I get it. Then sometimes there's no real one right answer. It was kind of funny how, again, it just turned out that it was just a TV show that was being filmed. She just thought it was something entirely different. So that was kind of funny. Let's see. I kind of know how this story went. I don't know how the last story is really about. I kind of have an idea, but this is like part 4. This is the end of like the third. There's like 4 stories they're telling. Obviously there's the first story was with the athlete, so we've kind of like seen him once and twice. It'll be a third time. Second story was with that couple. Third story is with her, and then the fourth story is with the older man that was looking at the puzzle. That'll be coming up in the next episode, like either the start or conclusion of that particular story. What it is about him. Beyond that, yeah, it's enjoyable. Yeah, really not much else to say about that. So thank you all very much. For those of you who are watching on Twitch, like I said, I'm going to be stopping the video and then starting another one up in a few minutes, or maybe more than a few minutes, but it will be happening today. Then for those of you on YouTube, the next video will be happening tomorrow. And again, that video will be the end of the Time Taxi series, and we'll be going back into Shinya Shokudo for season 4. Black Leather Notebook, Kurokawa Techo. I'll be doing that in between seasons 4 and 5, and then after season 5, another drama. I'm not going to mention the name, but yeah, I'll be doing that. And then that'll be kind of it for that block of TV shows, and then I'll be doing another block, kind of in a different vein, but hopefully it should work. It's going to be Terrace House along with some other dramas. I think it should be hopefully it's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to it anyway. We'll see how that works out. All right, with that said, thank you all very much. This has been Nuke Marine. Let's read Japanese. Sticking to Sentaxi, episode 12, part 1. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this series, subscribe to see more. If you appreciate what I'm doing to help the Japanese learning community, one way to support is via the Patreon, and the links in the description below, as well as to the community Discord and the website. Finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, or maybe one-on-one to help walk you through the process using setting up your Anki or utilizing these resources, the hourly rates and the payments are on the Patreon, but the direct link specifically for that is in the description as well. All right, thank you all very much, and I will see you in the next video. And to my one viewer live on Twitch, welcome. Thank you for watching. All right, later, guys.